All right, folks. Welcome to the Wyoming Old Iron page. And finally, we're seeing some headway. If you'll notice, while the barn isn't completely cleaned out, it is a case of making progress. There's still a ton of furniture, a ton of my wife's stuff in here, and the upstairs of the office is still covered. However, the reason I brought you by is I wanted to show you two new additions that eventually will be added to the shop. We have a Cincinnati number 2 horizontal milling machine. Now, let me get down here and look at our tags. This unit, both these units I'm about to show you date from World War II. They both started out in Puget Sound Naval Shipyard during the war. They were in the shipyard until the 80s, is my understanding. They were sold off as surplus, and a company in Bremerton, Washington bought them and used them for many, many years. They were still very good. And then in about, let me think, it's pre-COVID, about 2017 or so, I got a phone call from a buddy of mine in the engine collecting community, and they were giving these away. You had to come get them, or they were going to the scrapyard. They had invested in new CNC machinery. So I, at the time, didn't have anywhere to put them. Called a friend of mine who said, yeah, I want them. So he went and got them and kept them for the last 6-7 years. Well, fast forward here a few months ago, and he's decided he's not ever going to have time to be a machinist. And he wants to get rid of them. And he lived back in Washington, where I'm from, or where I lived for 31 years anyway. So I could have them. I had to come get them. And so I ended up with them. So that's kind of the story of how these came to be. I know it's really dark in here. I'm hoping to find my filming lights as we clean this mess up. They're here somewhere. This is a Warner and Swasey number 3. This is a production lathe that was popular before CNC. These are both 480 volt 3-phase units. And I truthfully, and we'll wander back here. You can get a little better look at what I got here. We've got the Bridgeport kind of sort of clone back here. Vertical milling machine. And we've got the lathe right here, the small lathe, which will work for the majority of my things. So these are 480 volt 3-phase. I eventually will have to get a phase converter to run them. I'm probably still a year out from getting the machine shop fully set up, getting this cleaned out, getting my other shop open. But I just wanted to show you the new machines and then the upcoming project. I'm filming this July 11th of 2023. Some of you may recognize this engine. This is one of the only 2.5 horsepower Fuller & Johnson upright engines left in existence. Reports vary. There were 2.5 horsepower and there were 1 horsepower. No report has over 10 of these surviving, and that's both horsepowers combined. I know for a fact there's 2 more of these in existence. There may be 3 or 4, but this one, it does run, assuming that I have a good coil and battery. Went to fire it off the other day and was not getting any spark. And truthfully, when I got this engine, I kind of cobbled the ignition together just to make it run for a day during COVID. And for some of my old timers in my engine club. So I have new battery, new coil, new wire. I got new everything on order. Be here next week. This will be the next project. This engine will be, for sure, it's going to be, well, I shouldn't say for sure. 99% chance this engine will be on display at the Portland, Indiana show this year. It was going to be on display at Baraboo, but we've had some scheduling snafus. So it probably will be in the back of the truck at Baraboo, but it's not going to be on display and running there. So another project which will help. You look up, you see 3 banks of lights here that aren't working. As soon as we get the rest of this garbage cleared out of here, get the lights going. So we are making progress. Let's see, for those of you, I'm not sure this video made it up. My wife and I did pick up this roughly 1905 to 1910 Zenith washing machine. It is a Zenith from all the research I've been able to determine. And it does, it's a push to agitate. It's a hand actuated machine. All the gearing and stuff is got enough slop in it that it won't cycle properly. Like if you look over here, you'll see there's a ton of slop there, slop there, slop there, and slop down here. So what's going to have to happen is all this stuff is going to have to be bushed so that it takes the slop out of it. That's a project in upcoming years. Don't know when I'll get to it. So now that we can see a little bit more of what's in here. This is an old Blackstone machine that needs the wringer fixed. We'll get to that. That's a model, I think that's my washing machine that takes the 2-cylinder engine. Back there, you're going to see a 50-ton, it's either a 30 or 50-ton press, but the jack is frozen up in it. I may try to fix that jack, or I may just order a new one. Who knows? So we'll walk across here. The gun safes have to make it up to the house. What else we got? We have dug a hole back here into some of my wife's furniture. Here we have an Ohio number 10 fodder chopper. It is complete. I've got all the fittings for it. I just don't know where they all are. And here, under that black plastic bag, and I know it's dark, that's a seed separator. What else we got in here? Most of this is my wife's antique furniture. We got a rocking washing machine. We have an old cranberry separator right there. We'll get a lot of this pictured better as we bring it in and get the lights going. My grandson will be here in about a week and a half to help me finish this before he goes to college this fall. So just wanted to give an update, show you the new machines. For those of you who might be wondering, yes, they worked when they were removed from power 7 years ago. Got a lot of collets with them. I've got the shaft for this and a lot of the fittings. And this will definitely, this Cincinnati will definitely end up under power. Like I said, the Warner Swayze, I'm not too sure. I've got the Hart Par restoration project coming up, and I'm probably going to have to make all new hardware for that. So it's a question, because I will make it match as much of what's there as I can. It's a matter of, is it worth hooking this lathe up as a production machine and using square stock to make the square head bolts that the Hart Pars take, or is it, you know, use the other lathe and send this one down the road? And I'm again, this is not a decision I'm going to make. Don't call and ask me, you know, tell me you're going to buy it and come get it, because I'm not going to sell it right now. When the time comes, if I want to sell it, I'll list it, because it does have some features like a taper on it that may come in very, very, very handy. So with that, that's just an update as to what's going on. Next weekend, when I get to work on the Fuller & Johnson upright, I will bring that over and hopefully I'll find my lights by then. And we'll get some video taken of fixing that and wiring that up. So if you want to see what's coming up, go ahead and subscribe. Click the like if you like it. And again, I know that it's taken a while to get this channel up and doing what it was supposed to do all along. I did forget to say something here, and I wish I'd have had the camera available to me. I had charger problems, had to get a new charger, so I didn't have the camera available. But when this was loaded, my friend rented a 4,000-pound forklift. Now, the estimated dry weight on this thing, without any oil, grease, or anything else, is 3,800 pounds. So, loading a 3,800-pound machine with oil and everything else, probably close to 4,000, with a 4,000-pound rated forklift, turned into a bit of a goat rope. So I wish I'd have had the video to show you, but this thing, it took us almost 3 hours to load this onto the trailer. And then towing it here from Washington, the trailer literally sat 4 inches lower on the right side with this than it did on the left side with the lathe. Even though that lathe looks monstrous, this thing outweighs it by a factor of 2. So I just thought I'd point that out. My forklift, of course, with its 15,000-pound rating, as long as you get the forks positioned correctly, no problem. And I do have some other good news while I'm thinking about it. I haven't found the charger yet, but no more shaky GoPro here in the near future. We found my good Canon camera. I've got 2 of these, so when we find the chargers, lo and behold, and find the lighting, maybe I can have some at least reasonable quality videos. So with that, I think that's everything for today. And we'll bring you back when it comes time to work on the engine.